I haven't. I've been meaning to look at a couple of recent ones. For instance, there was a company, China Cord Blood, that got an investment from KKR. It was one of the first times that we're seeing a real top-tier private equity firm put capital into these companies. But we haven't, and the issue is that even if they are real, they're not necessarily good investments. And it's because the heart of what was happening in the space was that you had foreign management teams that were not subject to the laws of the regulators in the country where their stocks were trading, right? So, the stocks were trading in the U.S. It was a stock in a U.S. holding company that then had a Chinese company as its subsidiary, and the management was in China. Well, Chinese CEOs don't have to obey U.S. laws any more than an American CEO has to obey Chinese laws. It's just there's no extradition treaty between the U.S. and China. And so there's always the temptation for Chinese management teams to just flaunt U.S. regulatory norms, right? So let's say you have a real company, right? There's no scam, the numbers are real, cash is there, business is real. Well, when the sector was declining, you'd have the valuations of those real businesses go down in line with the other businesses because it was quite difficult to differentiate which companies were real and which companies weren't, right? And so, if you're a Chinese CEO and your stock is declining, your PE is coming down to 4 times, and your business being valued much less than what you think it's worth, you have 2 options. You can either just sort of, fight the market and try to come out with more information on, why your company is a good investment, or you can just steal your assets, right? There's no legal repercussions. And so what we've seen is there are cases where we believe that certain companies are real, where we believe the management team has sort of redirected the assets from the U.S. holding company to a related party, taken sort of the contracts booked at one factory and rebook those contracts at the brother's factory across the street, right? And it's just because they feel like they've been duped by U.S. Investment bankers that convinced them to go public in the United States, and so why continue to play their silly little game? You might as well just steal your assets, and because there's no legal repercussions, they can do that. So that's why we don't really go long.